It's your space, your story, your platform. Real talk, real issues, real you. Only on Radio Walansar.
If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your dinya. Sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. Hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo, hijab, bigo. You wear it for Allah. She's independent, this hijab is on deen. She knows what she wants, she is a queen. She don't follow trends in magazines. Quran and Sunnah is a daily routine. If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your dinya. Sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, welcome back to Youth Frequency. Eid Mubarak to everyone who have celebrated. I know probably everyone's having their leftover biryani or leftover food, but alhamdulillah, I know you guys had a lovely time. Topic this evening, proudly African, breaking stereotypes. So remember, you tuned in to Youth Frequency with me, Sumaya, Jamie and Liam, where your voices are amplified, real conversations happen, and we keep it fresh, fearless and proudly local. Well, tonight's topic is one that hits close to home for every young South African. Proudly African. So regardless of whether you're an Indian, black, colored, white or whatever, all South Africans have the same mannerism, and if you travel overseas, you'll definitely say, you know what I'm talking about. Well, breaking stereotypes. Too often, Africa is spoken about, through one narrow lens. Poverty, struggle, crime, corruption. But Africa is also innovation, creativity, resilience, fashion, entrepreneurship, talent, culture, leadership, and power. South Africa alone is filled with young people changing the game in business, media, sports, education, design, activism, and entertainment. Yes, we are doing it, the youth of South Africa. Yet stereotypes still affect how Africans are viewed globally, and even how we view ourselves. We're going to focus more on South Africa. So tonight we unpack the labels, challenge the narratives, and celebrate the richness of African identity. Joining me, as I just mentioned, the dynamic, young, youthful, vibrant voices make an impact in their spaces. Jamie and Liam, yes, welcome back to Youth Frequency.
Yeah, we're back. Welcome.
You can just feel the energy. How are you guys doing?
All good. Glad to be back. Hope to do the topic justice.
Exactly. Liam?
Good on my side. Just having a good week, settling in there.
Oh, I ask you this every time we're on. How far for the comrades? How far?
It's 14th of June, so I think that's 2 weeks from now.
Well, for the guys who don't know, he partakes in the comrades, so he's
This will be my first one.
Yeah, but you also run, and Jamie and I were just talking, like, you are so disciplined. Mm-hmm. Wow. From nutrition to food to sleep.
I'm so tired of seeing the road, guys. You don't understand. There comes a point in time where you just want comrades to be next weekend. Go run this thing and give me my medal.
We always had this notion when we were small. We must eat pasta.
Oh, you know what? That's so fun. You have something called pasta parties. Before comrades.
I heard about that.
Pasta dinner, pasta evening, pasta party. I'll be attending two.
Wow.
One from work, and then because work has a team, and then one from the club that I'm with. And they have like a whole thing where everyone brings their favorite like carb meal.
Yeah.
Because carbs is energy. So,
Oh gosh. Do you know, one of my guests who always comes on, she's a teacher, and she also runs, and she says like, she says that she's going to stop. She also does comrades, but when she stops, she gets so fat because when she runs, she knows she can eat whatever she wants. She's going to burn it out because she trains every single day.
Yeah.
So I think go free, go all carbs.
100%.
Just
You have to eat
enjoy.
whatever's going to give you energy.
Exactly. And is it true that you lose weight?
So apparently so. I've seen it with some of my friends who've run comrades. They come back looking skinny.
Trained.
Like this one guy that I run with, one of my friends, he came back and you could like see his ribs. And he's
Oh,
not someone
gosh.
who you can like just regularly see
Yeah.
his ribs. So apparently so. You have to eat really well even post comrades. You need to eat really nutritious
So it's like the
food.
Formula One drivers, they say they lose weight. They sweat so
Yeah.
much that they lose so much of weight.
I think you also lose sanity in this case. Yeah.
Well, all the best, all the best.
Thank
Well,
you.
every week we're going to be asking you that. Yeah. You know, when you hear the phrase proudly African, what does it personally mean to you, proudly African? What does it mean?
Oh, wow. I think it means truly, I feel liberated. For me, that means
Yeah.
freedom. For me, it hits home because personally, that's something that, yes, okay, South Africa might not be perfect like any country, but in many ways, I'm so proud to be South African, and it is because we've come so far in terms of our freedom, in terms of our liberation, if you think of the talent from the youth.
Yeah.
So for me, it just is this freedom to really be and to express, which a lot of other places in the world still are struggling to undo.
Exactly. You know, Liam, let's be honest here, and I love it because you say it the way it is. What's one stereotype about Africans or South Africans that annoys you the most? Lekker.
I think it's the people trying to do like bad impressions of the accents from South Africa and from Africa.
Yeah.
Also, people think that Africa is a monolith, especially when they refer to it. Like you often hear people from the Western world, you'll say, I'm from this country, and they'd be like, oh, what's it like in Africa? Once they hear that you could be Ghanaian, you could be maybe Moroccan or Cameroonian, Botswanan, Namibian. The minute that they hear you from Africa, they just think that you know everyone everywhere in Africa.
And all the animals, too, they're walking on your road, the lions, the elephants.
One thing that is quite funny though, especially with South Africans and something you see overseas, and I've spent some time in Europe, people are not as friendly over there.
You can say that again.
It's weird.
From my experience also traveling, I've noticed, regardless of your race or religion, South Africans have manners. We say we're impatient, we're rude, but we actually wait for the person who are before us to go, whether we are buying food, whether we're even in a mall waiting to go to the toilet. I know once I was waiting in the washroom, following a queue, and these ladies were just going in front of me. So there was another lady behind me, and she told me, no, you don't do that. You just go. So I said, she said, no, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So you're right what you're saying, huh?
Yeah,
We're the most friendliest.
We're courteous people also.
Exactly, 100%. Friendliest too.
100%.
And I think when South Africans meet South Africans overseas, it's like they just want to hug each other because you found home in somebody.
And you know what? You'll be on like holiday for like a week or two, but you see a South African, you're just like, oh! You're so excited.
Yeah. But those are things we only notice when we leave our country. Growing up, did you ever feel pressure to act, speak, or dress a certain way to fit in?
I think me personally, no, and I'm grateful that I could have grown up the way that I did, but I think that the fact that I'm in South Africa has had a big role to play in that. I think that yes, some youth do struggle with that, but in general in South Africa there's so much diversity, there's so much authenticity. Everybody is so willing to express who they are and their culture and their beliefs and just their personalities in so many ways. So I think though there can be that, I think the general energy of South Africa is just this diversity.
That's so true. Liam, growing up, did you ever feel pressure to, as a young South African today, when it came to confidence and your identity. How did you feel when you were growing up? You're still growing up.
Yeah. That's true. I think your identity is something that's forever molding and evolving. So you can never say you've truly discovered who you are. But as you go on, you know yourself more and more.
Yeah.
But I would say that you obviously are influenced heavily by your surroundings and the people around you. So you'll always want to assimilate in whatever way to the people around you, because you see something within you or within them that resonates with you. So you want to find your people or your clan, so you cling to that. So growing up, you'd find yourself being influenced by very strange things. And as you get older, you may look back on it and be like, oh, it wasn't a bad thing, it wasn't a good thing or anything, but it was just weird that I wanted to assimilate there. But I think it comes to that thing of youth and wanting to find your place that you belong. You know?
Exactly. And it's so true. The people who you hang with, your vision, your views, your goals, it affects it so much.
100%.
And sometimes, when someone acts in a negative way, we say they don't know better because they're only exposed to that environment and they think it's normal. Like when you look at a lot of the youth, when it comes to, let me use this word, dissing other people, it's like normal. They feel it's normal. If you don't do it, then you're not cool. But it's the people you hang around.
Yeah, I think a lot is also normalized on the internet in terms
social
of
media.
Yeah, with the just roasting and just speaking to people like this. And I think in different parts in the world, yes, but because we're speaking of South Africa, I'll speak of South Africa, a lot is just made fun of and we laugh and joke about a lot, which in many ways can be so beautiful and can get us through a lot. But at some point we need to realize certain things aren't funny.
We also find humor in a lot of things that are genuinely not funny, especially when it comes to like corruption and you look at these commissions that are going on and people are focusing on the wrong things, like what's this person wearing, or toilet paper stuck on this guy's head, or
especially when we have the budget speech and beginning of the parliament we make jokes of how all the ministers are dressed.
Sometimes you can go ha, but sometimes you also have to realize that a lot of it can sometimes feel like a slap in the face. But, with all these high profile cases that are going on. Some things we shouldn't be laughing at. Some things we should genuinely be outraged about.
100%. Yeah, you're watering it down.
Exactly, especially with all that's happening in our beautiful country, South Africa. What's one thing about African culture you think deserves more global recognition? Let's look at South African culture.
Wow.
I think in terms of African culture, we need to look at how, so like when colonialism happened, a lot of borders were drawn based on how to divvy up certain land resources, and that could have split people of the same people across borders, like people in Botswana and then what's below Botswana? Northern Cape, right? My geography is bad right now. But people who are the same but now live on opposite sides of the border, And I think it'll be bad not to mention, obviously, South Africa is going through a very trying time with all that is happening, and a lot of complex problems that require a lot of nuance to look at. I think in terms of the beauty of South African culture and Africa is that it's a big melting pot of a lot of different kinds of people. I think in South Africa, given our past, there was a lot of intolerance. And I feel like through mediums such as sport and art and the sharing of culture, we've been able to develop a lot of tolerance. Don't get me wrong, there's still tensions, whether they be racial, cultural, sometimes religious, national, there'll still be tensions. But I think with South Africans, a large part of people, there's for one another, there's been a lot of tolerance, especially in terms of race relations, given our past. Currently, obviously, given the certain circumstances within the country, it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah. Looking at identity and the youth culture, again, Liam, since you touched on it, social media often shapes perceptions. Right. So do you think it helps or harms African identity?
I think it helps and it can harm. I think it's a bit of both. Social media helps promote globalization in the sense that it makes the world a smaller place. It allows for people to share ideas, thoughts, concepts, meanings, and culture with one another. In sharing that, oftentimes culture can be appropriated by those who view it as a means of an aesthetic.
Yeah.
You've heard that saying, my culture is not your costume.
Yeah.
I think social media is a great place for people within a culture to share and expand and grow within that. I mean, you look at how Amapiano has popped off
Exactly.
from South
That's a whole
African
culture.
roots now to a global stage, and how there's certain elements of groove that are cemented now in culture. There's certain things that you'll see happening in these different places, but you also see how the Western world may see that to be like, oh, that's fun. Let's take this, let's monetize it, let's try and capitalize on this here. Let's devoid this whole thing of its cultural essence for the sake of profit. And unfortunately, that's the double-edged sword that social media is when it comes to sharing culture.
Do you know, everybody, if you speak to the youth, again, even the young adults, 15 to 35, it's always greener on the other side. Everyone's going to China.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's going to the UK. Everyone's going to Al Ain, Abu Dhabi, Saudi, Taiwan. There's nothing in South Africa. So there's that trend,
So much beauty, yeah.
Yeah, America is like the place. Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't, you couldn't pay me to go there.
No
but
comments.
exactly. but when you think about among the youth,
Yeah.
they aspire.
And that's because I think we're heavily influenced by the Western world.
It's
So they
anyways.
aspire to be in those places where the rest of the people
Exactly.
are.
So, Jamie, would you say, is there still a mindset that international is better or local is lekker?
For sure, there's a mindset, but it's because that's all that's sold to us from the time that we are children. We're watching American television. That's all that's aired in a lot of ways. So I think the West has a lot of influence over us. So 100% that's what we're being sold. And then we also look at social media as well. A lot of it is pushed out from there. But I also think that it depends on the person. And at the same time, in the age of information, and as much as there's so much beautiful diversity in South Africa, there is in the world, and social media is also filled with that as well. So it does depend on where you're looking.
You know, to everybody who's watching us on YouTube and Facebook and listening to us, thank you so much. But I want you to WhatsApp us in studio. Tell us what's your local favorite South African word.
Sharp.
Right, yeah, lekker.
Lekker.
How's it?
How's it, bro? How's it, eh?
Yeah.
Sis, eh?
Yeah. So you can WhatsApp to tell us what's while we still are busy with Youth Frequency. You know, when we're looking at music and fashion, right? How has music, fashion, or art helped reshape African narratives globally?
Ooh.
Because-
We touched on Amapiano. I mean,
Yeah,
that's become a crazy boom. But I mean, like, in recent years, there's been a lot more African artists winning Grammys.
It's so good to see.
It's so
I'm so
cool. I mean,
proud.
we had Shoma Josie. I think she was one of the first. Well, I think it was Black Coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Zex Pantwini was nominated or if he won one. He was nominated, yeah. But I know Black Coffee won one. I know Shoma Josie won one.
See, this is definitely Asif's youthful. So there's definitely a youth show, huh?
Yeah,
And he's enjoying it, right?
100%.
Yes.
And then we had Tyler, and they exported some crazy sounds to the world, and they mixed it in with the mainstream R&B, pop, hip hop vibe, and it's been crazy to see, in terms of music, how South Africa has been really influential in a lot of ways, and not just South Africa. A lot of other countries export Afro beats and stuff like that to the rest of the world, and it's been really cool.
We should be proud about that, you know.
Yeah.
The famous one, okay, I'm going back in time, giving again, if Michelle was your mommy babe, she'll be saying, she'll be looking at me and rolling her eyes. What is it? The Lion King?
Wembawe, The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
That's something we should be so proud of.
The song, the show, yeah.
Yeah.
mean-
That's like proudly South African.
Yeah, that is
That's proudly South African.
I think, and even exports such as in the arts and culture space, sport too.
Yeah.
Really, really big. South Africa and
Yeah.
just Africa in general has been exporting some crazy sporting phenomenons
Yeah.
all over the world. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if you know about Sebastian Sawe. He just broke the sub 2-hour marathon record. We had Yomif Kijalche, he's Ethiopian.
Yeah.
This was his debut marathon, so his first marathon, and he ran under 2 hours. So he beat the previous world record on his debut marathon while coming second.
Do you know, and then we
Crazy.
have, how do I say it, Americans or people from UK who are envious or jealous and try to justify. They say, no, from Africa, the lungs are bigger.
Oh, genetic advantage and stuff like. Well, cry, just cry, I guess. But-
You probably read about
yeah,
that.
people can be jealous. I mean, like even the whole situation with Caster Semenya and how
Oh,
she's
yeah.
been treated.
He?
One of the one of the greatest sporting icons from South African, sports, and what she faced near the end of her career. But it was good to see her. She ran Cape Town Marathon
Yeah.
and stuff like
Shame,
that.
she went through a lot.
She did go through a lot, and it was terrible. It was terrible.
She
to
made
see.
like international headlines.
She was
Like people around the world were following her to see
Yeah.
what was the outcome.
Yeah, it was a weird point in time. But I mean, outside of athletics and stuff, we have the Bokke. Bafana qualified for the World Cup. Should this World Cup be happening? I don't know. Maybe that's a discussion for another day. It really is.
Exactly.
Hold
But South Africa has a major export on sport, and I think
Yeah, we do.
100%.
I think probably when we look at finances and stuff, we just need funding and those bursaries or something to push us to the next level.
we need the funds to be redirected to the places they're supposed to go.
That's it. That's it. No,
Say
well,
that again.
well, that is why we need to train the young leaders.
Exactly.
So they do the right thing.
100%.
While you're living in your 100 million rand house and someone's living in a hut
Guys, if
next to
ever
you.
become president and there's a road that's newly laid and within a week there's potholes, whoever laid that road has to fix it with no tools.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow! Well, we have it on radio. We're gonna we got that recorded. So
Whoever laid
we'll
that road and skimped out on resources and maybe incorrect procedures, they gotta do it barehanded from now on.
Yeah.
Hey, well, they better. If it was someone right now, gosh, I feel sorry for them. It's all over. What role do young creators and influencers play in changing stereotypes?
They play a very, very big role, a very direct role. Just like with, for example, social media influencers who have this platform here. You are now in the public eye, and at the end of the day, the reality is that is a lot of responsibility. At the end of the day, you are choosing to represent something as a person, especially if you're putting it out there to say, I am a African, I'm a South African, I'm a this, I'm a that, and you're using your platform in that way. I think it's good to be mindful in a lot of ways of just what we are representing, especially when we're putting it out there and we're choosing to say it boldly.
Exactly, because sometimes a lot of the youth, they want to imitate Americans and people from out of South Africa, and they don't realize you are South African. Be proud of who you are.
Yeah, I think that they also, to them, it's like this is all that they know. So I think we automatically get taught, look at something different. That's where treasures, that's where gold is. And naturally, we all have to come to terms with looking at our country. And as much as we can acknowledge the bad, acknowledge the gold that is here. And I think naturally, we all can't help but look at that living here.
Exactly. Going to South African reality. South Africa is incredibly diverse. So do you think we truly embrace that diversity, Liam? Do we truly embrace it?
Currently,
Yes, no, yes. We don't. We're still killing each other.
Not as we should.
Not as we should. I understand that what's going on currently, very complex situation. There is a lot of diversity in South Africa, and there used to be a lot of tolerance. People are frustrated. Politicians are corrupt. They're driving people against each other. The West is out to get us, in my opinion. And I feel like everyone's on edge at this point in time, and I don't think we are practicing that diversity and that love for one another. in certain ways. And I get it. There's so much frustration out there. South Africa is a beautiful place with so many different cultures and so many different peoples that inhabit these lands, and they all have something so unique to offer. But it seems like currently at this point in time, maybe we're not being represented in that light.
Yeah.
It's a deeper discussion than that, very complex.
That's really deep. It's like we can sit and look at it, how to embrace each other, and we don't realize it, but like if you regardless of who you are and what you are, when you leave South Africa, you're representing South Africa.
100%.
That's
100%.
So we'll be taking a short ad break.
This is Real Talk, Real Issues, Real Youth, exclusive to Radio Linsar with Sumaya Khan.
The chaos and destruction in the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Umrah this July school holidays with Show Mirage Travel. 14-night early bird special from the 1st to the 15th of July 2026 or 10-night super special from the 7th to the 18th of July 2026. Packages include return flights ex-Johannesburg on the world's #1 airline, Qatar Airways, Saudi visa, transfers, accommodation and guided ziyarats. Contact us for the super low prices. Limited seats are available. Call 031-208-4222. Show Mirage Travel, your trusted partner for a seamless Umrah journey.
This Soccer World Cup season, don't just watch the game. Experience every goal, every save, and every moment in crystal clear brilliance with the Samsung Crystal Panel LED TV from Simplex Radio. Enjoy unrivaled picture quality, immersive sound, and sleek modern style that brings the stadium atmosphere right into your home. Get the 50-inch for just $4,999, the 55-inch for just $5,999, or the massive 65-inch for just $7,999, saving you up to 1,500 Rand. Promotion valid until May 31st while stocks last. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
Radio Al-Ansar, 24/7, 365.
This is Youth Frequency, Real Issues, Real Youth, exclusive to Radio Linsar with Sumaya Khan.
If you wanna look amazing, lady, you know what you gotta do right now. Cover up your beauty for the Almighty.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Youth Frequency. A really cool topic this evening. Proudly African, breaking stereotypes. I'm here with Jamie and Liam. We should be proud that we are South Africans. We're always looking at the doom and the gloom and we're complaining. Yes, we're not saying that doesn't exist, but it's there. So we were just talking generally, talking about sports, talking about culture, talking about diversity and all of that. Well, what do you think some African youth sometimes undervalue local talent and trends? Why do the youth, I'm not saying all, I'm stereotyping here, they undervalue local trends in so many ways and talent?
I think in the case where someone would undervalue it, because we also considering how we said African culture is doing so well, but considering a scenario maybe where someone wouldn't consider it, a lot of the time we don't recognize the treasure that's sitting underneath our own nose until you go out there and, as I said, you look and you realize that, hey, the real treasure is sitting underneath your own nose. Sometimes people have to go explore and understand difference. Sometimes it could be a take for granted thing where you don't really know what's sitting in front of you. So I think in the case where they wouldn't acknowledge it.
No, you're right. And when you think about it, right, someone just messaged me, apartheid is abolished, but we're still living
with the mental shackles of
and we're still living in our locations. So when you're thinking about it, the stereotyping still exists between different communities within South Africa itself.
I would say that because of the shackles of the past, people have grown up with a certain mentality if they grew up under the rule. And whilst under apartheid, people were in survival mode, and in survival mode, your aim is to survive. And it never allowed for the dreamers to be nurtured. So when people see local talent, they think, that's like me. And I'm not a dreamer.
Yeah.
So these people are not going to succeed because people like me don't succeed under the system.
It's taught.
And you know, that mentality comes back. And even now, today, there's still systemic issues in place that hold people back. Even though we may be 30 years on, we can't escape the fact that some of the wounds of apartheid are still open in today. I mean, people have been set back by generations because of the oppression of that state. Some of us are way more fortunate than others that we've been able to break out of certain cycles, but some people are still living in the violent cycles of poverty that was established by the regime.
So since we're talking about...
So the dreamers were oppressed.
Like poverty, do economic struggles sometimes reinforce negative perceptions about Africa? Yes.
I think economic struggles are some of the core problems within any infighting that we may feel in South Africa, and any perceptions of a brighter future for Africans, you know. I feel there's a lot of youth that have untapped potential or potential that never gets realized because they're fighting for survival mode.
That's it.
You've seen cases of sportsmen who've gone overseas, you know, talented, and then they come back and then they're unable to make something, you know, of themselves according to the goals that they had set towards their lives, you know. So I would definitely say that the economic setbacks are a chokehold on the people.
As much as we say it still exists. It still exists. And, you know, we always talk on Youth Frequency about the macro of South Africa, what's really happening out there, because lots of us live in our bubble. So we take it for granted. Like, let me give you an example. You get up in the morning, you go to your bathroom, whether you use the toilet or whether you have a shower or a bath or whatever it is, and then you go into your room. I mean, you open the tap, water comes out immediately.
Yeah.
You go into your room, you change, you go into a kitchen, you probably put a kettle on, you make something to eat, you make your lunch, and you're gone. You jump in your car.
And that's normal.
But it's not normal. How many of our South Africans get up, they have to go fetch water.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even if they're living in the locations or in the township, they still have to go fetch that water. They got to like make that water hot.
Yes.
They don't have the facilities where electricity attached budget. So when we're talking to our peers, colleagues, or even if you're an educator talking to children, in our mind, you're living in your 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, 3-bedroom house. They're living in a 1-bedroom. So we don't understand each other as much as we say we understand each other.
100%. We could never fathom the struggle that a lot of people go through in this country. I think one of the most grounding experiences, and it's something that I've been acknowledging, and I'm no saint with this.
Yeah.
Opening a tap, that example that you made, opening a tap and having running water just available to you on a whim, clean running water, is such a gift.
It's a blessing.
It's such a blessing. It's such a privilege that a lot of Africans and South Africans don't have access to. And the fact that we won this random lottery, that we were able to be born into the area and the family that we were born into, so that we weren't born into poverty, is something so mind-boggling to me. And I feel like as the youth, if we are in a position of privilege, it is important for us to acknowledge that privilege. It's important for us to be stewards of the resources that have been granted to us, not to squander what valuable things we have in our lives, and not to take for granted the luck, that the sheer luck of being born into the family that we have. It's and like I said, I'm no saint. It's something that I'm still struggling with to this day. I'm not going to act like I'm some water super guardian, you know, showers with a liter of water. No, but it's something that's been so strange for me to acknowledge that this is not a reality for everyone. It's crazy.
100%.
No, it is. And we expect these individuals to still achieve the same goals as us, have the same visions of us, but there's so many challenges and obstacles to get there
that you can't see.
Exactly.
It's wild. I watched a documentary recently. Sorry, but I watched this documentary about this guy. He's a famous sportsman. I won't get into the details of it. But anyway, he was working as a security guard, and his money that he got, his mom was mentally ill, So he used that money that was supposed to fund his housing to put her into a situation where she was taken care of, and he was going without food and stuff like this here.
Yeah.
He still went on to win Comrades.
Wow.
Tete Dijana.
Wow.
I think 2023.
Excellent.
He had those setbacks, but he was still able to, overcome it. But we can't expect that from everyone,
No, yeah.
We need equity in this country.
True.
Exactly. What positive stories about South Africa are not spoken about enough? What's one thing visitors are usually surprised by when they come to South Africa? That we speak English? That there's no lions on the road?
I think there's so much because there's so much to learn. As South Africans, there's so much, as a South African, there's so much for me to learn about South Africa, and I think we can all attest to that. So I speak from a position of like speaking to a lot of people from overseas. I don't think that we can say just a few things because the list is endless. They are so fascinated by so many things because it's so different.
I think it's like just over a month you were back from India.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yes.
So you can probably see lifestyles different.
Yes, and I think it is different. And I think mostly just the diversity. I think that's one thing that maybe is very different to people. But as I said, the list is endless because there is so much to admire about South Africa or Africa in general.
Exactly.
I think it's the friendliness.
I agree with
the
you, actually.
friendliness. People are shocked by how warm we can be. I think another thing would be infrastructure.
Yeah.
People don't expect us to be so technologically advanced and stuff like that. I mean, South Africa, in some ways, are at the forefront of a lot of industries. I think it was Chris Barnard, the first heart transplant in the world performed in the Western Cape.
He did a heart transplant, not a heart transplant, but a heart op. It was McCord's Hospital on my granny. And that's a story we keep on talking
Serious?
about. And she lived very, very long.
Gifted hands.
Yeah, he was like, gosh.
Put a stamp of approval on the heart.
Mark Shuttleworth.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
and then we have lots of actors, but some of them don't want to say they're South African.
Charlize
From Benoni, we're not
Theron.
mentioning their names. We're not mentioning their names.
Charlize Theron. No, but she's African. I don't get the accent, but I'm not here to judge her, Shane. Maybe she's been there long enough.
But you know what? This is my thing. If you come from a country and you go stay in another country, you can't say that part of you doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Look, I think in joining a new place, you aim to assimilate, but like you can't let go of that full accent. You know what I mean?
No, you can't.
You can't completely discard who
we
you are.
actually have noticed, like with some of our friends who moved to the Western Cape,
Yeah.
from born and bred this side, some of them start sounding a little bit more
Why are
like
you going
they're
so
from
far,
that
Lynn?
side.
What about Joburg?
Oh, hey.
We go for a weekend holiday in Joburg
actually-
and we're coming back with that accent.
Actually, yeah.
When we
Start
were
saying
in school,
didn't.
when we were in school, we should tease everybody. It was like your accent just changes overnight, and then now and then you slip,
And then you slip,
and then you
yeah.
slip, and
It's
then
an
you slip.
interesting
That's
concept.
hilarious.
If you could remove one damaging stereotype forever, what would it be in South Africa? One damaging stereotype. One of it. What would you remove?
I think, wow, there's so many. Maybe I'd say the stereotype of maybe lack of education for anybody in Africa, because we spoke about the heart transplants and the sports and the arts, and to say so much talent comes out of South Africa, in my opinion, is a very, very big understatement. I don't think there's a word for the intelligence and the gifts that truly come from it. So I'd personally say I think the intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to put you all to the test, right? I never
Okay.
tell you I'm doing this, right?
Oh.
I'm going to say words,
Okay.
and you can tell us the South African words.
Okay.
The one words. Example, like we say instead of saying how are you, we'll say how's it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Let's put you guys to the test.
I'll get
Okay.
even more local. I'll even do Durban versions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
We
do
can
it.
do that. We're not picking on anyone. These are our views and opinions. Disclaimer. Right. Okay. I want to say okay. Cool. All's good. We're meeting later.
Sharp, check you later.
Right.
Check you just now.
Yeah.
Meet up second off.
And we meet a friend or someone and we look at them and say hello. Oh, you're looking cool. You're looking awesome. What do we do? I'll put my hand on my chin. What do you do?
You're looking good.
Yeah,
Hey,
oh,
shot. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
okay.
Okay. Oh, God. I'm also so youthful.
Away on the hey, don't play.
Hey, don't play.
Don't play.
But
Don't
that's
play.
an issue.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yo, that's shock and frustration when we say, yo. Ish.
Yo.
Yeah, that's a new thing. Do you know, I did a talk. You were there with me.
Yes.
We were at Prem Ridge, and you know, the people went wild.
Yeah, the woman.
Oh, the finger thing. They're like, I'm on radio, but I'm doing the finger thing. Yeah, that's like a new trend.
Yes, it
Clock
is.
it.
Clock it.
Okay, brother or friend or buddy?
Bro, dude.
Gosh, you're good. You're getting
Massacant.
right. Yeah.
We don't really use that one
No,
on the
we
side.
don't.
And we want to say,
Exe.
Yeah.
Exe.
we want to say somebody soon. We want it now.
Now.
Yes.
Now.
No.
And then if not right now, but soon in
Okay.
this day, just now.
And,
Just now.
And traffic lights. What we call it?
How
Robots.
robots.
Turn left at the robot. And a famous one. I know I use this always, and my daughter even started using it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Angas.
Angas. Yeah.
Angas. Yes. And no way. What? No way.
What would we say for no way?
I don't know.
With the H.
Aibo.
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 You're correct.
Aibo
Aibo,
is
yeah.
so many different things though. Aibo.
My favorite thing that we also do is like just throwing shame into a sentence.
Yeah, shame.
Hey,
That's
shame.
true. I do that a lot.
Shame.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's something I know lots of people tease me with all the community activism I do. Power to the people.
Amandla.
See, well, these are South African, regardless of your religion or your race. We
Yes.
South Africans use this here.
100%.
Groovy, can, bioscope.
Well, I don't know about
No,
bioscope. I
okay,
think
don't say
that's from a
bioscope.
bygone era.
but only exclusive to South Africans.
Yeah.
Only
Yes.
exclusive
Fair
to.
enough.
Hey guys, do people still go, or they just watch Netflix?
No,
or
they
watch
go.
TV?
They go.
We just call it the movies
Yeah, we
now
just
or
call
the
it the
theater.
You know, I know a lot of the youth, and a lot of people say, "Gosh, it's expensive." They rather just do it at home.
You have to know the specials.
It is. You must know where to go and what days to go on.
Yeah,
What cards you need to have to
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
specials.
We're putting you on right now.
We won't plug anyone here because there's no sponsorships happening.
Yeah. Sponsor us.
If you want to,
Yes, you can sponsor youth
throw us a
frequency.
sponsor. We'll throw an ad in here for you guys.
Exactly. What gives you hope for the future of South Africa and Africa as a whole? Just
The youth seeing the how can I say, the knowledge and the wisdom and the talent and all the potential that's inside of them, and especially their abilities to lead even though they're so young, like their ability to see, hey, no, this is wrong. Like, takes too many South Africans, a lot of adults, way too long to recognize things like that, and the youth are just like already calling it out.
do you know something that always crops up? As you said, currently I'm a piano and hip hop. That's like a whole culture on its own
Yeah.
now.
100%. It's taking the world by storm. It's taken the world by storm, I should say.
Explain to our listeners, those who don't know what we're saying, the elder listeners.
So Amapiano is like purely so. I can't even explain it because I'm not well versed on Amapiano, but
yeah.
it's a purely South African sound. It's got a lot of there's a lot of elements of like Afro beats and deep house, but in its own way. I mean, one of the things that I really like from like the early stages of like the Amapiano movement was like the log drum and the sound of the log drum, and just placements and how we've created like these cultural icons within the scene of Amapiano. You know, you got Kabza de Small, DJ Maphorisa, and then now. What's that DJ? He goes and he plays overseas sets and he always works to his crowd and he somehow what's that? Dlala Tugzin. Yeah. He plays these overseas sets. I think it's in the engine room or the boiler room in like the UK and stuff. And he plays these crazy sets where he sets the sound up to align with like the sound of that area, so like the UK and Europe and stuff like that, and then through his sets he slowly bleeds in like the Amapiano influence, and it's so cool to see. It's something that's like proudly South African, that's been nurtured here and has taken the world by storm.
You know, when you think about it, so many artists, even Maher Zain, for My School Matters, what is it, The Power? The Power. I mean, there's also South African sound and beats. Yeah, and we don't realize it, but thoroughly appreciated
Yeah.
for the diverse when it comes to the arts and everything else.
100%.
Famous South African chow, people. Food.
If we're going to keep it
Food.
super local, we could say the pani chow.
Yeah,
Or the
super
kotta.
local.
Oh,
Oh,
kota,
yeah.
Now, those who don't know kotta, I was quite surprised that lots of people asked if you know what's a kotta. I was quite surprised that lots of people don't know what's a kotta.
I didn't. Liam introduced it to me. I didn't know what it
So-
was.
I eat them.
So basically,
I enjoy
it's
them.
a bunny with you either have polony, chips, Russian,
I wouldn't say a
gravy.
bunny. It's like a half loaf or
With
quarter
all of
loaf
that.
with like the work. So it'll be chips. It'll be Russian, polony. Some people like
Kotta.
acha
Yeah.
in theirs. And
Now look at that.
For
The
a-
word
for a
acha.
plug, yeah.
The word
Yeah.
acha comes from the word it's achar,
yeah,
but everyone calls it acha.
yeah,
Mango pickle.
mango pickle,
Oh, the aunties wait for
grated.
grated. Now it's
Yeah.
liquidized.
Yeah, so no, it's
Yeah.
it's like proper like Kasi cuisine
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. I mean, what else? You said in terms of food, we got biltong.
Yeah.
It's like a snack and a half. That's like global for
Oh,
us.
pap.
Song.
Yeah,
Yeah, pop.
pop,
Maize
kutsu,
meal.
maize meal, any form of maize
Yeah.
snack. That'd be a good one. I'm trying to think what else like. Apparently they say boboti, but I
That's
don't
I
how
don't
I
really like
feel
it.
about
Too,
that.
too
Yeah, I
sweet.
also don't know about
But
that.
they say that's like
They
a South
see it
African
as
thing.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
cook sisters. They
A nice-
cook sisters in the
Cook
Cape, and then
sisters.
cook sisters from the the Dutch
Yeah.
settlers.
The one with the potato in it.
One of the most famous ones,
Yeah.
Voroso, Boerewors.
Boerewors.
Yeah.
Hey, yes. That is proudly South African.
Yeah.
And what makes South African youth different? Before we round up, South African
Wow.
youth different.
Mm.
What makes us so
Wow.
different?
We're cooler.
How can I say literally the blood coursing through their
Yeah.
veins? I cannot explain it, man. But the soil, the energy, everything
Yeah.
on Africa. In no offense to any other country, but for me, Africa is like mother. So literally, the blood coursing through their veins is what, in my opinion, I can't explain it. You just have to
Yeah.
sit with any African person and talk to them, and you'll understand.
I think
Understand.
we're so rich from the people right through to the
exactly.
soil, the culture, the fact that the West had to come in here and create these divisions to extract resources from this land already tells you how rich the land was. So that
Yeah.
that can only be indicative of how rich the people were.
100%.
100%.
So yeah,
And so Asif, anything else for you would like to
yeah.
contribute?
Throw something in there.
Throw something in.
Some
Throw
wisdom.
something. Some wisdom. Yeah.
Oh,
What
shisa nyama for food.
Braai flakes. You can say the braai.
Yeah.
We don't do barbecue. We do a braai.
Yeah.
We do a braai. Do you know, Eid, lots of families were having braais last night.
That's
they
the
were, they were
way.
full from the biryanis.
Hey, and you know, it's been a number one feature at Prize. Yo,
Yeah.
the chili mutton sausages. You can't go wrong with the chili
The
mutton.
masala sausages. Well, that's proudly South African. What an incredible conversation this evening, keeping it real on Youth Frequency. We've laughed, reflected, challenged stereotypes, and most importantly, reminded ourselves that Africa is far more than the labels placed on it. Africa is innovation, Africa is brilliance, Africa is culture, Africa is youth power, as Jamie said it. And here in South Africa, we have a generation that's bold enough to redefine the narratives for ourselves, not waiting for the world to tell our story anymore. To every young listener out there, be proud of your roots, be proud of your voice, and never shrink yourself to fit into someone else's limited perception of what Africa should be. A huge thank you to our amazing guys in studio, Jamie and Liam, and thank you to everyone who listened to us and all the comments and enjoying the show. Thank you so much. Well, this is Sumaya Khan, Youth Frequency. Stay inspired, stay authentic, and stay proudly South African. Assalamu alaikum.
Cover up your beauty for the Almighty. You do all this for your genius. Sacrifice is only temporary. You know what you gotta do right now. Your hijab is your crown, we all see, and you wear it to serve Ilahi. Hijab, Biko, hijab, Biko, hijab, Biko. You wear it for Allah. Hijab, Biko, hijab, Biko, hijab, Biko. You wear it for Allah.